And welcome into another edition of Coach's Corner, NA3AHL edition. I'm joined as always by head coach of the NA3AHL Knights, Josh Fusco. And Josh, obviously coming off an interesting weekend here last week. You guys had your first exposure to the Long Island Royals. Good team. They won both games, very hard-fought games, very close games. Given that it is the first two losses of the season for your guys, and given that they were such competitive games where so many of the games you guys have won have been one-sided, what impressed you first about those games, and then what does the team have to fix moving forward into next week?
A lot of positives came out of the weekend, and yeah, obviously it was our first two losses, so I was kind of in a way kind of glad, and in a way kind of like it's mixed emotions with it. I kind of liked it because I could see some of our guys start to carry that swagger to them and get a little cocky, and some guys were getting away from the systems a little bit and trying to do too much on their own. And then I was also able to see who the real leaders are. We've kind of been telling them, hey, I'm looking for a C, looking for A's, and I was able to see a couple guys step up to the plate and really take charge with that. But the positives, a lot of positives. We played fast, competitive. And I don't want to cry sour grapes, but having Zach and David out on that blue line was a big hole, and you could see the difference. But Long Island's a great team. Yeah. They were a great team. They were quick. They were fast. Everything we expected. Everything that I studied and watched and knew coming in. So our preparation in the week prior in practice was good. It was just a couple mental mistakes, a couple breakdowns. A stupid penalty there with 4 minutes left in the game and Sunday. So it's just like little things and the learning curve. Obviously Long Island is a well-oiled machine, and we're just a step behind. So a lot of positives. I don't want to, talk the negative really, and I kind of let that go right after the game, right after the weekend, and you could see some of the guys were a little disappointed, a little down, and say, hey, we got 29 games left. Yeah. And at the same token with that is seeing some of these guys upset and pretty pissed off in the locker room after. Do you really expect to go undefeated? And do you really expect this? Do you really expect that? Right. Seeing how upset they were was kind of cool though, because I think it lit a fire. Yeah. And I think you can see the competitiveness that I have in that group of players. Sure. So it was a lot of positives out of the weekend. We just got to tweak a few things and fix a few things and get back on track this weekend coming up.
Sure. Now, I think a lot of coaches would agree with you that there is such a thing as healthy adversity, for a team to go through and to kind of get those wake-up calls, if you will, and, just kind of realize where they're at relative to another good team. But with that in mind, you've had almost a full week of practice now since those two games, getting ready for the New Jersey Renegades and the Exton Junior Bowls this weekend. What have you seen a kind of resurgence also in practice? Not to say that the guys weren't giving good effort in practice prior to this week, but what kind of changes have you seen since this past weekend?
I've actually seen quite a bit of change in a lot of guys. A lot of guys have this week in practice. Our Tuesday practices have been a little shaky to start the week, and they came out on fire on Tuesday. Crisp passing and moving, and everything was flowing nicely. We had a good practice yesterday, and you could see the hunger. I kind of lightened things up a little bit on Tuesday. We had our lift session, and then afterwards we played a little football. Yeah. Paul the trainer jumped in, was a quarterback. I was a quarterback, so we ran around down there. It was a lot of fun, and I think the kids, the boys needed that. Coming off of two losses, your first two losses of the season, after a hot start. I think keeping it loose and guys running around, joking around, and same token being competitive, playing it. So Practice has been good this week.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are stepping up to the plate even more. And, I had a nice little speech with the team before the practice started there on Tuesday. And, hey, look, we got to get back on track.
Yeah.
And I think some of you guys realize that you can't do it all yourself. You have to stick to the game plan. You have to stick to the system. You have to do this. You have to do that. Some of you guys now know where you need to be and what you need to do to progress and move on to the next level and, compete.
Sure.
And right now, hey, look, Long Island's the best team. Hands down, they beat us twice. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. And, that's what I'm going to start preaching now. Now we know what we have to do.
Yep.
I know what I have to do as a coach and as a staff, and now my players know what they have to do on and off the ice. So, great week of practice so far. I don't want to jinx it,
right.
but, I think the guys know that they can't take time off now.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Now, lastly here, you do have a new player joining the group, Troy Smith, kid out of Maryland. Early impressions, I know, he's only had a couple of skates with you guys thus far, but what have you liked from him?
He's tremendous. He's going to be a big help to our lineup. He stepped in right away and made an impact. He brings speed. He likes to take the puck and go with it. He's got a nice shot. He's got good vision, and he moves the puck very well. A nice, hard, crisp pass, and he brings a lot to the table. He's a good locker room guy that I've noticed so far, and he's fit well in with this group of guys. So I'm expecting big things out of Troy. He's a 97.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's looking to move on with his career and his paths, and one of the biggest steps for him was coming in here to Wilkes-Barre. So he's on the right path, and had a good weekend.
Sure.
He had a good weekend starting out. I used him on the PK, used him on the power play on the point, pulled the goalie and put him out there, So, right away it was kind of a coach-player trust thing. And I knew what I was getting out of him, seeing him in practice, and, I knew what I could get out of him and how far I could push him. And it seemed like the more and more I threw at him, the more and more he took off. So Troy is I'm excited, and I know he's excited. I know a lot of the guys are excited to have him here. So.
Yeah. Well, as always, the Knights will be playing this weekend. They'll have a couple of games, one on the road on Friday. They'll have on Saturday, and a home game here at the Revolution Ice Center at 1:30 on Sunday, if I have that time right. Yes, yep. And as always, you're more than happy to come on down. Free admission for our NA3AHL games to really see a really quality team in action. Of course, just get to see Josh out there on the bench and our whole staff here at the rink make it happen. If you'd like to check out more information about the Knights and the organization, you can go to www.wbsknights.com. We have stats, we have highlights, we have videos, articles, we have sponsorship opportunities if you're so inclined. So be sure to give that a look. And again, Josh, we'd like to thank you for giving a couple of minutes as always. And we'll see you out there this weekend, and we wish you the best of luck.
Always a pleasure, Tim. Thanks.